Periyava Sharanam. Mahaperiyava's Paramakripai and request from few of our family members, Bhagavad Kainkaryam is coming up with free Bhagavad Gita Shloka classes. We are going to learn the first chapter from Bhagavad Gita. Our focus audience for Bhagavad Gita Shlokas are children. Elders are very much welcome to learn the same. But this class is only for learning the shlokas and not its meaning. This initial brief message is for the students in particular. I request the parents to listen to it and explain to your children. What is the significance of learning the shloka? What's special about it? This is basically a conversation between the Lord and the human. Nara Narayana Vivadam. There are loads of shlokas that we listen and learn every day, penned by many demigods, mahans, bhaktas, etc. Is it not one among it? No, it is not. But why? What's special about this shloka? This question can be answered only by the Krishna himself. So let us listen to a part of explanation narrated by our Jagadguru, Kaliyuga Kannan, Sri Mahaperiyava. In general, what kind of atmosphere is required to preach someone, to enlighten a disciple? A peaceful and a calm environment, isn't it? That's why all the hermitages were built in forests, where Maharishis in ashrams taught scriptures to their disciples. Both the Guru and the Sishya should be in a calm and composed mood. That is why even when we see Bhagavad Padal, Sri Adi Shankaracharya's picture, we could see him teaching 4 of his disciples in a very calm and beautiful environment. It is presented in such a way that there are trees around with a lotus pond next to them and so on. But in this case, Bhagavad Gita has been preached on a war battle. Periyava says, when we are learning something, even if it rains, it becomes a big hindrance. But here, it is happening in a place where arrows are showering like a rain. Arjuna was not even sure whether he'll be alive the next moment. In spite of understanding the situation, in between the Ranakalam, Ranam means battle, Kalam is a place where it is happening, in which Arjuna feels that enlightening himself is more important than his life. So he is asking Krishna, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha prichami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. This is 7th shloka from chapter 2. Arjuna is saying, Hey Krishna, I am in a very confused state of mind. Please accept me as your disciple. I am surrendering to you. I request you to tell what is good for me. A Sishya who is surrendering to a Guru in such a moment, when he is drowned in a great grief and fear, with such confused state of mind, he is still inclined to learn the truth, to enlighten himself, putting his life at stake. Mahaperiyava says Arjuna had that kind of vairagyam, that is lack of desire towards worldly pleasures, in fact, lack of desire for his life. So similar to what Mahaperiyava explained here, we all are stuck in this battlefield called samsara. In spite of going through mental and physical agonies, though we may not be able to be with utmost vairagya like Arjuna, we should bare minimum try to indulge in satkaryams, follow our dharmas, keeping up our nitya karmas and anushtanams, etc. How do we do it? What to do and what not to do? That's what we learn from this Bhagavad Gita shlokas. But this shloka is in Sanskrit. We may not understand it just by reading the shloka. Is what the question that may arise in our mind, right? But Periyava says, even when one recites Vedas without knowing its meaning, or rendering the Shraddha Mantram without knowing its meaning, Bhagavan still accepts it and gives us the Punya Palan. But shouldn't we know the meaning to understand the do's and don'ts? Yes, for which the base is to learn the shlokas with proper pronunciation first. Let's do that, and Periyava will show us the path to take our next step towards understanding the meaning. Bhagavad Gita shlokas is a mere advice, or could even say this is a lesson for life from the Supreme Divine Himself. So let us learn with utmost sincerity. Parents are requested to sit along with the kids and make them recite along. Every shloka will be divided into 4 parts, and each part will be taught once and repeated once. So it will be recited twice in total, so that everyone can listen once and repeat once. Shlokas will be given in the description box in all the 3 languages. Parents and devotees who know Sanskrit well are requested to read in Sanskrit, as the pronunciation could be better and close to perfection. Parents are requested to make sure that the kids are repeating with proper pronunciation. Videos will be uploaded 2 days a week, planning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. 4 to 5 shlokas will be uploaded in a video, which could hardly take about 5 to 10 minutes. Listening and repeating once may not help anyone, and children in particular, to by heart the same. Whatever is being learned should be practiced every day morning. In fact, cultivating the habit of reciting shlokas every day in the morning will also help every one of us on a long run. After completion of the first chapter, everyone will be given a chance to record their children's video reciting the shlokas, and elders can also participate in this, and your videos will be uploaded through Bhagavad Kainkaryam YouTube channel. Number of shlokas will be allocated by the Bhagavad Kainkaryam admin members once we are done learning. All the best to all the interested devotees and parents, and last but not the least, consistency is the key. Starting a project is no big deal. Carrying the same level of interest throughout is very, very important. Sarvam Krishna Arpanam.